Looks like the old hag is going to be living a gloomy life for the rest of time. You're going to regret things for the rest of your life after what you did today. Calling me an old hag? I would like to ask you what you think you're doing talking to one of your higher-ups like that. As far as I'm aware, there is nothing at all that I need to be regretting, and am not convinced that my life will be forever gloomy like you think. Just because I'm telling you the reality of your situation now, don't think you can clap back at me for it. Do you have any idea who I am? I am the executive director's daughter, of all people. And as for you, it doesn't seem like I'll ever have to see you again because you're done for. What do you mean by that? By the end of today, you will no longer be a part of this company anymore. Just because I came into work a little bit drunk today, you think you can caution me about it? That's what we call workplace harassment. Workplace harassment. You could be fined for something like that by the company, and I could take you to court and sue you for every penny you have if I really wanted to. I've already gone and told my dad about this, and I'm going to have you fired now. Sucks to suck, doesn't it? An old hag like you will have no chance at all of finding yourself a new job once you've been kicked out of this place, so consider this the end for you. You call the state that you came into work today a little drunk? You came into the office smelling like the floor of a dive bar, and then you couldn't even walk straight for more than a millisecond. I also saw you rush to the bathroom when you first came out of that elevator and could hear you in there vomiting your guts out. Whichever way you try and think about it, you shouldn't be coming into work like that. And this wasn't even the first time you've behaved that way. As one of your higher-ups, I did the right thing by going and warning you about the punishment for continuing to do that. It is against this company's policy, and I'm pretty sure any company's policy, to be coming into work in such an inebriated state. It couldn't be helped, all right? I was out really late last night messing around at the club, and after that I went out to some bars to grab a few drinks until the sun came up. And that all happened before I realized that it was only Wednesday and I had to be into work by 9. Do you mind taking a moment to understand the culture of us younger folk? We all love going out to clubs and the bars to get drunk and mess around, even if it's during the week. Oh, but for an old hag like you, that's impossible. What do you think of your career in this company? Is it just a game to you? Because I am well aware of the reasons for why you're working here right now, and that you were only hired because of the word your father went and put in for you. And since I respect your father a lot, I was very excited to see who you were and be the one in charge of your training and work. However, right now, I'm tired of listening to all your small comments about what I'm doing. I don't care about what you think, and I never will. Old hags sure don't seem to read the room very well, do they? You seem to think that your opinion is something that the rest of the world should have as well, right? I guess people weren't kidding when they said that as one gets older, they are less likely to be open-minded about things and then become stuck in their ways. Well, when I start to become old, I promise that I'll never turn into whatever the hell you've become. Paige, I don't care that you're the daughter of the executive director. There are things you should be saying and things you should not be saying to others. And right now, everything you're saying to me is not acceptable. And like I said, you're already fired, so you can shut up. I literally do not care to listen to your little snotty comments anymore because all they're doing is pissing me off. Anyhow, you're fired, which means that you never come around me ever again, please. I'm really sorry, George. I don't think I'm ever going to become as amazing of a manager as you are. Perhaps it's time I start thinking about other paths in the company that are a lot better suited to someone like myself.
I just saw that you started to text me for the first time in such a long time. But what's all this about? You don't feel as though you're doing a good job as a manager anymore and want to do something else now?
Just a second ago, I received a few texts from your daughter, from Paige. She told me that she went to her father and said that he's going to fire me now. In other words, you're going to be firing me now, right?
What did you say?
To be honest with you, I'm in shock over what she said. To think that I'm hated that much by someone like Paige. I was just trying to become like you, a higher-up who made sure to turn me into an ace employee for this company. But I guess becoming someone like you is too much for me. So it's probably time for me to step down from this position and go back to working as a base-level employee here.
At one point today, she did come to me about something like that. She made this massive deal about wanting me to fire a female higher-up of hers, but to think that she was talking about you that whole time? Well, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to listen to anything she said for me to do. I'm kind of tired of having to hear that girl say some of the stupidest things to me all the time. I kind of made it clear to her then that I was going to think about everything before I made a decision based on what she'd asked. But it seems she didn't even listen to that last part and just assumes I'm going to fire you now. Why was she even coming to me asking for that in the first place, though? What happened between you two that led her to want you fired?
Actually, almost every single day, your daughter is coming into work drunk and reeking of alcohol. I have warned her about that multiple times now, saying she could get into serious trouble, but that doesn't seem to have worked on her. And so this morning, I was a bit tougher on her about it.
So that's what led to her coming to me about you, right? To think that my own daughter would be coming into work every day drunk? I knew that she would stay out pretty late every night playing around, but because she was making it into work on time every day, I didn't think there were any issues with the life she'd been living. I'm sorry, this has all happened because I'd taken my eyes off of her too quickly.
If you're going to blame yourself for this, allow me to at least take a little bit of it too. I'm the one who was tasked with taking care of Paige as her boss after all. As her direct manager and everything, I wanted to really do my best taking care of her and turning her into a good employee.
You're not to blame for any of this.
I've been thinking, maybe it's time I take a break from all this.
Don't be so quick to ask for something as idiotic as that.
But I'd like to go to the hospital is all.
As long as you're not leaving us for good, that's fine. I don't want to lose you, especially since all this time you've done so much for this company. As for my daughter, you can let me deal with her.
I can't stop laughing. So you're not even going to try coming into work today? You made all these claims about how a true adult should be acting, and yet here you are slacking off from work, not showing up for it today. Today I made sure to take the day off. I already told my boss that I'd be taking the day off and couldn't come in. So there shouldn't be an issue, right? Are you sure about that? Are you sure you're not staying home today because you were told that you'd be getting fired and that put you into a deep state of shock? If you're wanting to talk about me being shocked because of something, that's true. And because of that, I'm a bit too tired to be coming into work today. So right now I'm at the hospital having a checkup done to make sure I'm not sick with anything serious. You're getting a checkup done at the hospital? You literally sound like a grandma. If things are becoming too much for you, maybe it's best you begin to think about retirement. Do you know who's to blame for me being in this state, though? Who do you think has had to be the one doing all of that extra work you left behind after never doing your job? I've had to stay late after everybody else leaves the office, all in order to take care of the work you never did. I have been working so much recently that it's begun to affect my health. Hey, that's all happened because you suck at getting your work done on time. How about you stop blaming me for that, please? Really, you are a useless boss. The fact that you're now going to blame your subordinate for your own problems means that you really are not needed anymore. Since you're a failure as my boss, you mind leaving the company right now for me? I see. Well, I guess I'll leave then. I didn't realize you hated me that much to say those things about me today. Had you quit from the very start, you wouldn't have to be as sick as you are now. To tell you the truth, not a single person in this department has ever dared go against the word of the executive director's daughter besides the old hag. I'm the leader of this place after all, and you should be punished for going against me. But those who you seem to think you rule over aren't as many as you might think. To be honest, pretty soon here you're going to lose all of those who you think are your subjects. Stop it with that sore loser talk. Just shut the hell up, you old hag, and get lost. Well, when you're crying your eyes out later, I'm not going to listen to it. Huh? I'm not going to be crying my eyes out over anything, though. Hello, old hag on the verge of death. You should have gotten a call from my dad already, right? Did you just avoid his call because you're too afraid to take a call from him talking about how you'll be fired? Sorry about that. I had just gotten back home and was taking a nap. There are close to 500 missed call notifications on my phone from him. Seems like your father is really in trouble. I'll have to go and apologize to him later. Well, you apologizing to him isn't going to change the fact that you're being fired. I've already started going around the office telling everyone about it, too. Which means that now everyone in the company is going to know that you'll no longer be working here anymore. There's no way for you to make a comeback now. That's what I expected. Your father did end up sending me a very long message while he was trying to get a hold of me. He asked me if I'm really planning to leave the company and that I really can't do something as stupid as that. I think your father freaked out after hearing the rumor you'd been spreading and really wanted to know the truth. And he was trying to get me to change my mind, it seems. What? Huh? Why would my dad be trying to stop you from leaving? I never talked with you about this story before, but your father, the current executive director, was once my trainer. When I had first joined the company, he was the one who made sure I did everything the correct way. The reason I've made it to where I am today is because of him. Is that right? But what does that have to do with anything? Compared to an old hag like you, my dad would much rather listen to what I want over you. So when I tell him to have you fired, he's going to make sure that you're fired for sure. But what if I told you that I'm the CEO's daughter? A cheap lie like that is never going to work on me. You sound so crazy now that I'm actually going to laugh. You're welcome to believe that I'm lying right now. But if I really was lying to you about that, then why would your father have called me 500 times trying to stop me from leaving? What? Are you serious? But nobody ever told me anything about you being the CEO's daughter. If you've really been the daughter of the CEO this whole time, then shouldn't everyone be sucking up to you more? And shouldn't you be working in a higher level position than just the manager of the sales department? Nobody knows about who I am, though, because I've made sure to keep it all a secret. I'm being asked to become the next CEO of this company once my dad has stepped down, but I also enjoy doing what I've been doing so far, working as the manager of the sales department. So I've been thinking of working as the manager right up until I'm asked to take my dad's seat. That's why I never wanted to say anything to any of the people here about who I really am. Which is why there are very, very few people within this company who actually know that I'm the CEO's daughter. I don't get why you'd want to hide something like that, though, from everyone. Why aren't you acting all high and mighty when you're literally, like, the second in command here? Because I don't feel the need to act all arrogant and proud of myself like that. Anyway, just know that your father is fully aware that I'm the daughter of the CEO. And that is exactly why he started to get all worked up like that after he heard the rumors that I'd be leaving the company. I made sure to talk with him about a lot of what might happen yesterday, but it seems you really wanted me gone as soon as possible, right? Well, your father already told me that he won't have me fired, no matter how hard you try and get him to. Then why did you tell me a while ago that you'd be quitting? Don't you want to leave this company? I never said that I was quitting the company. I just said I was leaving my position as the sales department manager. I don't want to have to deal with you anymore. Also, I was told by my dad that it's time for me to take on some more roles within this company in order to prepare. I never knew about that, though. This is unfair. I don't care that you're the next in line CEO of this company. My dad should be above you as the executive director. So I'm going to figure out some way to get you fired from here. Dad, why are you not listening to what I asked you to do and doing it? You have a choice between your one and only daughter and that old hag. Who is more important to you right now?
Paige, do you not understand the type of woman that Olive is?
I already heard about that crap from her. She's the daughter of the current CEO, right? Her hiding such an important fact like that about herself from the rest of us is so freaking stupid of her. I hate people like that. I bet you, deep down, she was doing it on purpose to make me look bad. She is someone an executive director like you should not be defending right now.
Olive is not the type of person who would do something like that to hurt you in any way. The reason all of this had to happen to you in the first place is because you chose to continue coming into work drunk every day. You are the reason for all of this, yet for some reason you don't see that. Why not?
Huh? What? Are you getting all worked up now because she's the CEO's daughter? Does she make you scared, Dad? I don't care that she says she's going to be the next CEO someday, because right now all she is the manager of the sales department. That's all she is. Which means that you are still above her on the company ladder, Dad. All you need to do is just fire her and everything will go back to being normal. Or could it be that you feel close to her because you were the one who trained her back in the day?
If you know about how she was my trainee, what makes you think you should still be talking about us? I have no reason at all to be firing her, yet you keep going on about how I have every right to do that to her.
Jeez, come on, Dad. Are you actually going to let that old hag win? Ugh, this is the worst. I'm going to go tell Mom about this right now. I'm not sure what the hell has been going on here inside the company walls, but maybe you and that old hag have become too close to one another. Disgusting.
Listen, you cut that crap out right now, making fun of other people like that. I really was an idiot spoiling you as much as I did just because you're my daughter. You just had to keep telling me about how hard it was for you to find a job after school. Because of that, you made me think you actually wanted to take things seriously and work for a change, and that's why I got you a job here in my company.
And I've been coming into work, haven't I?
While you reek of alcohol, right? Are you going to tell me that you've been coming in and actually doing your job while being drunk? Back when you were first born, this company wasn't as big as it is now, and the best I could do with this job was bring home the money needed to feed you and your mom. But that required me to also be at work a lot more and leave the house in your mom's hands, which now I'm really starting to regret. I never thought you'd be raised into this ignorant little self-centered child by your mother alone.
I'm not some self-centered child, though.
You're going to object to that when you're not even listening to what I have to say? I'm to blame for you becoming such a woman, and that means I'm going to take full responsibility for you.
What kind of responsibility are you talking about? Are you going to do so by firing the old hag for me? Or do you mean that you're going to promote me into a position that would allow me to work even less and make even more?
From now on, I am no longer going to be sending you any more of my money.
What?
And of course that means I'm canceling that credit card of yours that I made for you as well. You still have plenty of things you need to learn before becoming a self-respecting adult. And in order for you to learn, you're being kicked out of the house. So while you're out living on your own, you're going to have to make your own money in order to support yourself.
You can't do that to me. With the money I'm making here, I can barely even afford to go out and play every night.
Which is strange considering that this company pays their new hires very well. Paige, you need to learn what's actually important in life as an adult, and that means you're gonna have to fix that selfish character you've developed and learn to think more about others.
No way. I already told my friends, though, that next week I'd be going to the biggest club in the city with them. Also, I told them that drinks would all be on me that night.
I don't care about that. I have no reason to be paying for you to go out and spend all that money anymore.
But if you take all the money and my credit card away from me, I'll no longer be able to go out with my friends. What are you going to do when I end up all alone?
If you not having money means that you'll no longer have any friends, then you need to understand that they never were your friends in the first place. In other words, you guys only ever hung out because of the money you had.
No way.
If you don't want to live the rest of your life alone, then you need to work on fixing your behavior to one where people will enjoy you for who you are. You're an adult now, which means that you need to take responsibility for things like that on your own. Are we done here? I have a lot on my plate at the moment, and you need to hurry up and pack all your things so that you can leave my house soon.
No, I don't want to leave the house. Paige, seems you've still not made it into work today. Did you take the day off or something? Shut the hell up! I don't have time to go into work anymore. I am busy getting myself ready to move out of my dad's house right now. Oh my, so you're having to move out of your parents' house now, I see. Well, isn't that great? You'll finally be able to learn what it means to be an adult. I bet you're seeing this as the best outcome for you right now, aren't you? Well, it's not for me. My dad isn't going to be giving me any more money, and I'll have to start surviving on my own. But I don't have the money to do that right now. And when I told all of my friends that I promised to go out to the clubs with that I could no longer go, they all blocked me. Because of you, I'm going to be all alone. Isn't that your fault, though, since you only ever made friends with those that only seem to care about your money? Please don't blame me for something I had nothing to do with. No, this is your fault, though. Being next in line to becoming the CEO, you have the ability to talk with HR, right? That means you can tell them to raise my salary for me. If you do that for me, then I'll forgive you for all those times you went against me. I really don't care for your forgiveness, Paige. I know that really you're jealous of the young and beautiful woman I am, right? That's the only reason you could possibly have for bullying me like this. You think that a trivial reason like that is why I was always hard on you? How about you stop belittling me like that for once? All I was doing was trying to train you into a decent employee for the company, as that was my duty as the manager of our department. I had every right to talk to you like that and treat you like you didn't know what you were doing. The biggest problem I had with you wasn't even to do with your drinking either. It was to do with you always using your father's position as the executive director to take advantage of others and make them do all your work while you just sat there sleeping or eating. And no matter how many times I went and warned you, you never once listened to me. Which is why I ended up taking on so much stress. This is the exact reason why I hate people who use their parents' position to get whatever they want, no matter if they deserve it or not. Huh? Because I am the daughter of a CEO, I have been raised in a very strict household. Not only was I having to study every day at school, but when I'd get home and finish all my homework, my dad would teach me about his company and about how to become a successful person. And he always told me that no matter what, studying to succeed was the most important thing in life. I had to be careful when I'd go to school or hang out with my friends to never tell them who I really was. I didn't want for people to treat me differently because my dad is powerful or because I had to study all the time at home. Yet after all these years of having to be careful about what I told others, you came into this company and started to tell everyone who your father is and what you could do. And whenever anyone would talk back to you or go against you, you threatened to have them fired over it. I know all about your threats to everyone in our department, Paige. Well, that's because... But if I can use what I have, I'm going to use it. I'm not sure if you were ever aware of this or not, but to this company, you are nothing more than heavy baggage. All you ever do is pick on everyone else, never doing a single thing that you're supposed to. There is no use for a person like you in this company. I had a talk with my dad, and starting next month, I'll be the new CEO of this company. I thought I'd just let you know that right now so that you can prepare. Because starting next month, you are going to be let go and will no longer have a job here. You're kidding me. You can't. I've already lost all that money which was coming from my dad. How will I be able to pay for myself now? I never thought something like this could ever happen to me, and that's why I went out and bought all sorts of new jewelry and clothing and stuff online. But now my dad is telling me to pay for all that stuff myself. Yet now I'm going to be fired too, if that happens. You still have a month before you have to go, though. So during that time, I think it's best you start looking for your next job. I can't. I was already failing at finding a job right after I got out of school. There is no way I can find myself a new job now. Please, you can do anything to me, but just don't fire me. I promise that from now on I will change and make sure to get all my work done. What are you going on about? You still have a chance to find work outside of here, right? After all, unlike the old hag I am, you are a young and attractive young woman, right? I'll apologize to you for all the times I called you an old hag, all right? So please, as the CEO, can you make sure not to have me fired from this company? The thing is, though, Paige, I can no longer trust any of the things you're saying to me right now. So please try your best to find yourself a new job before your time is up here. Good luck. No way. What do I have to do in order to get you to forgive me? Do you want me to come to your office and get on all fours begging you to forgive me or something? Olive!
Paige has finally gone and moved out of my house now. She took all the things that she could physically bring along with her and left, and will now start looking for a new job out there in the world somewhere. Olive, with everything in mind, I am so sorry for all the trouble that she caused you. Due to her violent behavior of thinking she could just do whatever she wanted in the office, you had to go through a lot.
Well, that's very true. I just never expected her to take things so far with that attitude she has and end up hurting herself in the end.
She was able to do all of that because I spent too much time here, working for this company, and was never around her enough to teach her how to become a decent person. Since I plan on taking full responsibility for her actions, would it be all right if I stepped down from my position as executive director and left the company? I'll allow you to tell me if that's okay or not. After all, you're going to be the next CEO starting next month, which means by that point you can do anything you want to me, and I won't be able to say a word.
I suppose it would be easy for me to get rid of you now. But I know best just how amazing of a person you are, both inside of this company and outside of it.
Stop saying all those things about me. After what happened this time, you know those are not true.
Having to become the new CEO for this company is a very big deal and something that requires all hands on deck. So for you to leave this company or have me fire you, that would be a massive blow to us and cannot be allowed. For the sake of this company and all the men and women who work under you, please stay with us for a little while longer. I need someone like you in this company, even if I'm in a position above you.
I see. If that's what you're going to say to me, then it can't be helped, can it? I promise to make up to you all of that trouble my daughter caused one way or another. And the first way I'll do that for you is by making sure my daughter is fired right away.
I'll leave you to that then, George. Thank you. After having been kicked out of her parents' house, Paige went and found herself a dirt cheap apartment to move into. That was very old and falling apart at all four corners of the room. But due to the fact that a woman like her had always lived a life of spending so much money, making everything she consumed and owned fancy, whatever money she was making during her remaining time in the company was all wasted. What could have been used to pay off all that debt she was in was gone, and that led to her having to go into even further debt as the interest on her credit card started to kick in. I believe that at some point she just gave up and went to a loan shark or something to get more money in order to pay that credit card debt off, as well as have some extra money to enjoy herself with again. But I knew that it wouldn't be long before that loan shark sent someone after her to get that money back, and I think that would end up happening to her soon enough. And while she was going around looking for a new job to take on after being fired, she tried to have her dad help her by putting in a good word for her. However, plenty of her coworkers whom she had abused and forced to do all of her work back here had already taken things online and spoke about how horrible of an employee she was, and that there was no merit at all in hiring someone like her. So in the end, she was never able to find a new job before she had to leave my company and would be in much bigger trouble. Because like I was suspecting would soon happen, the loan shark sent some of his goons after her, and they found her walking out of her apartment and followed her. They followed her all the way to this old and abandoned part of town, where they then went and snatched her, and took her somewhere nobody could find her, and taught her a lesson in why it wasn't smart to try avoiding the debt that she was in. And so once that lesson had been taught to her, and she was all bruised up and looking like a dropped apple, she was taken back to her apartment and told to start paying up. After she realized there was no hope for her, she settled for a part-time job working at a coffee shop on the first floor of her apartment building, where she's now having to work as a dish cleaner, making minimum wage. She no longer has any friends or family to really spend time with either, and has resorted to spending all of her time at home in that old apartment, never even having to leave the apartment building since she's already working there. As for myself, the end of the month had come, and with that, I was made the new CEO of the company as my dad went and retired. And as the new CEO, the first thing I did was tell everyone that I'd be doing some small restructuring and such to the company, to make it a far nicer place for everyone to work in and no longer worry about people like Paige being hired, which saw huge support from everyone. Having to be a CEO is a very tough job, and I can tell you right now that it will be some time before I'm really used to the responsibilities. But having a close friend, and my trainer is still at my side to this day, means that I'll have nothing to worry about at all and can rely on him in case there is ever a thing I might need. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.